Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Nadia and my fellow classmates. Today I will present about the Individual Education Program or IEP and also teaching aids that is related to IEP. This program specialized design for autism student. Next. The IEP for autism student. Firstly, my presentation today is about IEP for the autism student. The details about the students are slide shown. Name Muhammad Faiz Joseph bin Abdullah, male and 6 years old. The lesson program is around 1 month starting from 1st June 2020 until 1st of July 2020. The activity that is going to be teaching is about time and clock. His existing capabilities that has on him is he can counting the numbers. For the long-term objective is at the end of the year, the students able to read the time correctly according to the hours and minutes without any help. Strength and interest. Faiz is he can identify the basic number easily and likes to give attention to the interesting activities such as like moving the arrows. Meanwhile, his weakness and problem is that Faiz has is that he can get bored easily and can't be disturbed by others while focusing during the lesson. Next. For the short-term objective, this education is at the end of the lesson. Faiz will be able to identify the clock arrow for hours and minutes, and also to identify the numbers of hours and minutes on the surface of the clock. My teaching strategies for Faiz included showing the surface of the clock accordingly to minutes and hours, teach the movement and the direction of the time, showing the correct numbers of time and teach, moving the arrow of the clock. After that, test it by playing the clock game. Doing a practical revision with using the teaching materials until the student reach the goal objective. Showing and teach properly with not too fast about clock and time. Teacher shows the time and asks the student to read and tell the time. The teaching material, why I'm using the tools for Faiz is that play clock, time, number of hour and minutes. At the end of the lesson, I can do an assessment for him as follows. The teacher asks the student move the clock arrow accordingly to the time given. The teacher shows the clock to the student and asks him to read the time. Next, I wanted to show the teaching aids for Muhammad Faiz that is related to IEP before. The name of the teaching aids is clock time. Based on the IEP, Faiz will learn properly with this teaching aids on how to read the clock and times, so that my student will learn and enjoy the learning process. Last but not least, I will show the short video on how to use the teaching aids about the clock of time. Hi, good morning. I wanted to introduce about my teaching aids that is specialized for the autism student. The name of the teaching aids is the clock time. Here, it got two types of teaching aids that is related, which is the surface of the time and the time card. Firstly, I will give an introduction of inner orientation to the clock surface. Like we all know, the surface of the clock have the number starts from 1 until 12 and minutes in multiple 5 in every number of the clock. There is also arrow directed to the hours and minutes movement. times. There is also a clock that starts from 1 until 12. And minutes from 5 to 0. For morning and PM, for evening and night. Next, I wanted to refer the ways and steps on how to use the teaching aids of the clock time as the following. First, with the using of the clock time of hours and minutes, set the hours, time and minutes that is needed. For example, showing the clock are number 3, and minutes are number 30. And meanwhile, the current time was at the evening, which is PM. It means the clock shows at 3:30 PM. Second, with using the surface of the clock, move the hour arrow into number 3. And the minute arrow to number 30. Reading for minutes that is referring to at the number of the outside of the main clock. So, the time reading is correctly according to the instruction from the clock timer. That's all the process of the learning about the clock time. As a teacher, we can test the student by using the different clock and minutes number to ensure practice until it is understood. Thank you. That's all my presentation for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video and thank you for your attention.